Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session of Reading with Meenakshi. And today I'm doing a request. One of you had shared a article from The Guardian and wanted me to discuss it. So I will be doing that with you today. So this is about Brexit, and Guardian is a newspaper that I talk about reading all the time because Kat gives passages from the Guardian. So it's an important read, and it talks about Brexit. That the case for Brexit was built on lies. 5 years later, the deceit is routine in our politics. So obviously, it's talking about Brexit. When Britain exited the uh, European Union, in which there was a currency and so the euro, etc., and just said that I will no longer be part of that whole thing. So that was called as the Britain's exit, so therefore called as Brexit. So let's now try to see what, and it's 5 years now since Britain exited. So after 5 years, the biggest casualties of Brexit are in plain sight. So they are saying that it was actually a bad deal that they took exiting from this. And integrity and decency in public life are crumbling. So integrity means morality, and decency in public life means in politics and social atmosphere. It's going down and down because so much. For the case of Brexit is false. The political modus operandi of the Brexiters, now dominating our political culture, has become a refusal to accept responsibility for mistakes. So it's saying that so much of the case for Brexit is false. So they tried to show that, when Britain will exit, their problems will get solved and it will be very good and very positive for them. And all these cases, these supporting ideas were actually false. So the political modus operandi here basically means the way they were behaving, the politicians who were the Brexiters, who were the supporters, and they are dominating the political culture. It has become a refusal to accept responsibility for mistakes, overclaiming, and they are not accepting responsibilities for the mistake of Brexit. Overclaiming means the claims that they said, oh, it's so good and all that. Deceit, they cheated, and sometimes outright lies to justify the unjustifiable. So Brexit was not justifiable. That action was not right. And they are trying to tell lies to just justify it, although it is not justifiable, because it's, if something is incorrect, if something is wrong, how can you justify it? But they are trying to do just that. So obviously the politicians, the Brexiters who were the supporters of the deal. Now, once the electorate means the people, the population, the voting janta, can no longer trust what they are told, democratic debate is denied. So now they are saying when the people of the country who are voting, they cannot trust what they are told by their politicians. The democracy, the democratic debate. Now, what is democratic debate? The debate, the talk between the citizens and the politicians, what is being communicated, that is denied. So the whole democracy is at risk. And we have been robbed of a core right of citizenship. The right of citizenship in a democratic country is that the politicians tell you the truth, show you the correct picture, and then a citizen takes a stand. And here they took a stand, they voted on Brexit, but they were not told the truth. So the core of the core rights of citizenships, that was taken away from the citizens, means they were cheated. And it is a form of coup. Coup means taking away of a power by force. So it's like, doing something by force, by cheating, by deceit, but with a cloud of nationalist hyperbole disguising the threat to parliamentary democracy. So it was like a coup by the Brexiters who said that the exit from, this the currency and the European Union exactly is important for Britain, but they showed it with a nationalist hyperboles when you exaggerate things. So they showed it like jingoism is again a word which means that only. So they showed that, if you're British nationals, you are being denied your rights when you're part of this, so the Britain should exit. And that's what they showed, and which was actually disguising. So the threat to parliamentary democracy was not there by Brexit, by being part of that European Union. But the Brexiters tried to show something that was not there. To hold power, to challenge it in a democracy requires continual argument and discussion. So when you're democracy elected, when you're democracy, when you're holding power, it requires a continual, talk between the citizens and the people in power, the precondition of which is a commitment to truth telling and a shared acceptance of facts. And there's a precondition to democracy that people who are in power, people who are the politicians, the representatives, they have to tell the truth to the people, and they have to accept the facts, even if it is right or wrong, however differently they may be interpreted. So even if the facts might be interpreted in a wrong manner, but still it is the duty of the politicians, it is the duty of the people in power to, show the real picture to the people. Now, trash those preconditions, and we inevitably slide into a universe of division and distrust, impervious to rational argument. So, they are saying that if these preconditions of democracy are thrown in the dustbin, trash means throw it in the dustbin, means you don't do the preconditions, means you're not truthful. Then what happens? We slide into a universe, means into a world of division and distrust. So, you're not trusting, you are impervious to rational argument. Rationality, argument by reason is denied to the people, and we are all belittled. Belittle means we are all cheated, we are all thrown into a inferior position. It is as Brexit right wants. Brexit has given it a cause. So here, Brexit has given it a cause and a political coalition that leaves it more firmly in control of power than at any time since peak Thatcherism. Thatcherism was the kind of politics that Margaret Thatcher, who was the prime minister, then, she was very autocratic. She was also called as the Iron Maiden or the Iron Lady. So she was very, very strong in her political ideas. So they are saying that with the Brexit, what has happened is that the control over the people of the politicians, the politicians are controlling the people very, very strongly. And it has given a coalition, means a powerful, that government, a coalition government is a government which is, combined of many parties together. And it is firmly in control, and from the impending assault on public services broadcasting to the criminal failure to provide additional teaching to compensate. So, now what are the failures that have happened in this coalition government? The assault on public service broadcasting means the truth is not being broadcasted to the people, and the failure to provide the additional teaching to compensate for COVID induced teaching losses. It is gerrymandering that favors the Tories there, the two parties that are there. So the Tories, they are what is the gerrymandering is the controlling the interest in that manner, supporting. Again, that is a political pressure that happens through gerrymandering, etc. So, voter suppression, rendering the Electoral Commission even more toothless. So, what has happened? The Electoral Commission, which is now without any power, they are saying, ensuring all trustees and chairs of public body are conservative. Now, what they have done is all the important positions are taken up by the conservative parties, by the conservative, people. So, the interest of one particular party or one particular group is being looked at. It is, no longer a true and free democracy. So weakening judicial review, the power of the, Supreme Court to review, abolishing the fixed terms Parliament Acts, eliminating any proportionality in the voting system of for mayors. Now what they are doing, voting system of mayors, there should be proportional representation, but they have done away with that. Not accepting the doctrine of ministerial accountability. Doctrine means the principle. Ministerial accountability means each minister is accountable for what they do to the public, to the parliament, and they have done away with all of that, and all couched in a language of defiant nationalism. And this is all hidden. Couch means this is all thrown, all seated in that we are defending the country because we are defending Brexit, right? So that critics can be dismissed as un-British friends. Now, those who don't support it, they are said that you are un-British, okay, and you are friends with the foreigner and outriders for workdom. So they are saying that you are not anybody who is not supporting the ruling party and the pro-Brexit brigade, they are called as, un-British and supporters of the outsiders and foreigners, etc. So this entire edifice means that the structure is consequence of Brexit being indefensible in rational terms. A Brexit can't be defended because it's useless. That's what they're saying. So that even boasts of success rests of presentational legerdemain morphing into deceit. So now legerdemain is, hath ki safai, slay of hand. So any boast of success, so any people who are saying that Brexit is successful is like they are just trying to cheat the people by a magic trick. Okay, just last week, the unpersuasive list offered by Boris Johnson in favor of Brexit. Now, Boris Johnson, obviously the person in power, he offered a whole list talking about the advantages of Brexit. It comprises 8 free ports permissible within the European Union and whose limited access is created by diverting economic activity, a successful vaccine program, impossible within. So they are saying that these kinds of 8 points which Boris Johnson has showed was impossible between the if the European Union was there, and because Brexit has happened, because Britain has exited, so the country has been able to achieve all of these things. But actually, they are just a window dressing, just a show off. It's actually not true. All right. So we'll just skip this part. You can just read it, what the 8 points were. The losses, on the other hand, are massive, real, and not addressed by the minister, but they are not showing the negatives, the losses. Our trade with the European Union has fallen by a fifth in the first 3 months, a drop normally associated with an economic slump. So they are saying that the economy has slumped, it has gone down very, very badly. The international barons of private equity circle have our stricken firms in an orgy of asset stripping. They've taken away all the assets. We have fallen from the first to the fifth in the ranking of states. So Britain was first the fifth, and here it has a first, and now it has fallen to the fifth in ranking. So these were the negatives. And then it just comes, so small wonder that Johnson and the Conservative Party want to see Brexit as a drone deal. From there, there's no going back. So they are saying that with Brexit, they are able to control the power and they don't want to go back on this. We've sucked that lemon dry. He told the Atlantic magazine, means we have done whatever that could be done. Now nothing else can be done. To acknowledge these weaknesses would delegitimize the whole enterprise. Now, if we acknowledge the weakness of the Brexit, then it would make everything wrong that they have done. So they are never going to accept it. And that is what they are saying. So just let's read the last part of it. Moreover, suspicions that the government is not straight with the country are spreading arguments over the European Union. The government is not straight with it, means it's not telling the truth. All right. So there's a journalist who remarks in his short book, The Assault on Truth, that the culture of truth, abuse, and avoidance of responsibility are part and parcel of the approach of Johnson and his government. So Boris Johnson has been untruthful. From the referendum campaign to the management of COVID, aided and abetted by disgracefully compliant media. And the media has supported the wrong things that Boris Johnson has advocated and done. So media is also hand in glove, they are saying. Abetted means helped the government in the wrongdoing. Yet Brexit is the heart of is the struggle over truth and integrity. So Brexit is the core thing about the truth and integrity of the government, and the lies that gave birth to it led Johnson's rise to prime ministership, and Johnson became the prime minister because of Brexit. It is this recognition propelling, means throwing the rapid growth in the membership of pro-European campaign groups such as European Movement and Grassroots for Europe. So there are other groups now that have become anti-Brexit, which are supporting going back, which may or may not happen. Citizens despairing of a Labour Party that refuses to do battle with the central facts of British politics. Now they're saying, why is the citizens are angry that the Labour Party is not fighting for this and are doing what they can do to challenge the Brexit lie. They are acting to preserve integrity. They're just, preserving the honesty and integrity. After all, big lies, whether communism or imperialism. So communism was again, that was there in Russia and China and some other countries. And imperialism means control of the power of people, like Britain was doing for other countries, collapse in the end. So they all, any bad action, any bad governing policies, they collapse, means it comes to an end. But such collapses need citizens to act. So they are saying that the citizens really need to act to prevent, to for the collapse of these bad things, for the end of these bad things. So here the author is urging the citizens to actually take a stand and act and do something about it. All right. So this was there about Brexit. It was a good article, and just read it. I skipped a few parts which were just telling the details. You can read it fully. I'll share the link with you. And thank you very much. Please do subscribe and comment so that the YouTube makes the suggestions for the channel more valid, and it goes into the algorithm. And share it with your friends so that more people can learn better. Thank you very much. So bye bye for now. Take care.